After graduating high school in 2023, my high school friend group and I decided to go on a trip to Greece over the summer as like our graduation gift to ourselves. We literally spent every night drinking, partying, eating delicious food, and like going to the beach every day. It was like the most amazing time. But of course, that trip did not come without some crazy drama. Since TikTok is being banned, I just feel like I can tell whatever story I want on here. So going into this trip, we had all decided that we would not bring any men back to the Airbnb because like our parents had warned us about just like potentially like being scammed or being robbed or whatever, because we're like very vulnerable, like young American girls. Everyone agreed, and I did not foresee this to be an actual issue because everyone seemed to be pretty much on the same page about this topic. One night we were out and our friend met this boy and like his friend group. They all seemed really nice, and we ended up hanging out with them for most of that night. Now, as we were not going to bring any guys back to the Airbnb, we actually, all of us, 6 girls, piled in with these 5 boys into a like literally minuscule car. It was a terrible idea. It was like 2 a.m. We all like look back on this and we're just like, what the hell was happening? But the boys basically took us back to their like little Airbnb, and we all hung out with them while our friend who had met the guy originally went off, did her thing with him, and then we left, took a taxi at like 5 a.m. That is not the like crazy part. I mean, it is pretty crazy, but that's not where the story's going. Also, the reason why we ended up going with her that night was because we didn't want her to be alone with some guys that she had just met. A couple nights later, she's texting with this guy again, and he basically tells her that he and his friends are gonna be like in our town or whatever a little bit later that evening, and that he wanted to see her. Also, I don't know how this blush just got here. That night, while we were out at the bars, she says, oh, like he's here. His name was Nick. She's like, okay, I'm gonna go see Nick and his friends, and we'll all come back and meet you pretty soon. Just like stay on your phone, we'll text. Some of us were actually like interested in some of the friends, so we were like, okay, this will be fun. And she went off. And a few minutes later, kind of like 30 minutes later, she texted us and told us, oh, come to this bar. The boys are coming pretty soon. Nick and I will be there soon too. We get to the bar and we're just hanging out there. And then it's been a while and we're kind of just like sitting around waiting for these guys to show up, waiting for our friend Nick to show up, and just nothing. So I'm texting with my friend and I'm like, hey, where are you guys? Where are the guys? Like, we're kind of just staying around. We don't really like this bar that much. So like, if you're not coming, like you might as well let us know now because we're kind of just waiting around. She would take a really long time to respond, but then she did and basically was like, no, don't worry. They'll be there in like 5 minutes. Like 10 minutes go by and there's no sign of anyone there. We kind of start realizing that like something's weird. We leave the bar and we're just kind of wandering around looking for them maybe and like whatever. And then I'm like, wait, let me check her location.